I actually did a project about this. I think it should be lowered because not having it lowered encourages binge drinking. And I think that if you will let somebody vote and decide the fate of the country, I think they can decide how much alcohol to put in their system. And not necessarily saying that it should be 18, but I think there's just a little bit of ambiguity and a gray line, which is not exactly fair.
It should be lowered just because I know people under 21 who are already drinking and they're pretty responsible. I know not everybody is, but they're pretty responsible about it.
I think that it should because most people who are in college, they're trying to defy the odds and hide the alcohol, and so they do it behind the back. So they drink more than they should be drinking. If it's lowered to 18, then they're already accustomed to the drinking, so then they're not going to be more prone to going out and going crazy and that kind of stuff.
Should be lower.
I think it should be lower because, for the most part, people that are not 21 are just as responsible as people that are 21. Like, for instance, 18-year-olds are just as responsible.
I believe the U.S. should join the rest of the world with our common sense and make it 18. Most countries, it's even younger than that, so.
Other countries, it's 18, and I feel like people are gonna drink regardless, so it might as well be safer for them to be younger.
I think the drinking age should be at 18. I mean, you're legal at 18, register to vote. Being able to drink at 18 would seem appropriate to me.
I think the drinking age should be lowered because we're expecting young people to assume adult responsibilities at the age of 18, but we don't allow them to drink until they're 21. So I think we should make the rule of responsibility the same age across the board.
I think the drinking age should be lowered to 18 years of age because children are considered adults at the age of 18.
I believe that the drinking age should be lowered. The reason I feel this way is really two reasons. First is that due to the old drinking age, a lot of students feel the need to hide their drinks. So this leads them to binge drinking because they're trying to finish their drinks before anyone else can see them or find them and before they can get in any trouble due to the drinking age limitation. The second is that if a student is able to drive when they're 16 and vote for the President of the United States of America when they're 18, then there is really no reason for them to wait another 3 years before legally being able to have a sip of alcohol. These are my...
I think it should remain the same age because young people tend to be impulsive. There are consequence filters not built in yet, and a lot of times they're not thinking through the consequences of their alcohol consumption.
I think 21 is a good age. I just feel like after college, it's a good time that because you're younger, your brain is still forming, so it can be really damaging.
I started drinking junior, senior year of high school, and they did not allow it. It was secret.
Honestly, when I was in middle school, but not much then.
My mom knows that I drink.
We would drive to Wyoming, which is only about 50 miles, and we could actually purchase 3-2 beer at the time if you were 18. So when I was 18, we would go to Wyoming and pick up a 12-pack and bring it back to our house and have those beers there.
I was allowed to have wine in my family as early as 10.
Back in the day when I was drinking at 16, again, we used to sell to kids who were 18 years old, and we did that consistently for a while until the legal drinking age actually increased to 21 years of age.
For two main reasons. One is political reason because the federal government asked all the state governments to raise the drinking age to 21 or they would cut their funding for roads and things like that. So obviously it's all about money, so they raised it. And then the other reason would just be that they don't believe people under 21 are responsible enough.
Because we think we're better than everyone.
But I'm an RA, so I see a lot of people who drink, and I just see the difference between social drinking and binge drinking, and one's obviously a lot worse than the other one. So if you teach people how to responsibly drink and do social drinking, if it's a part of the culture as some other countries have it, then people are less likely to do that. And it's better.
Because it was established a long time ago and they're too stubborn to change it.
I feel like because there's like a lot of problems with like drinking and driving and like, I don't know, being like younger and drinking, like under 18, like causes like a lot of issues, like with, especially with like drinking and driving, I think is the biggest.
Well, if I remember back, it was some states were 18 years of age, some states had 3-2 beer, some states were 21, and my recollection is trying to get everybody uniformed in all 50 states that the Congress came up with a federal law of 21 years of age. So if states did not raise their drinking age to 21, they would lose highway funds and other appropriated money that would go to those individual states. So then everyone was 21 years of age across the country.
I think it has to do with our Puritan background. We went through Prohibition in the early 1900s, and I think this is carryover from that era.